Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Audi recalling about 44,000 of their vehicles over defective gauges. Whoops. Now, this comes with thanks to Motor1.com. Specifically, Chris Smith is one of their top writers over there. He says, quote, screens are bad. Audi recalls 44,000 cars over defective gauge clusters. Most of Audi's sedans and SUVs from 2021, including the A6 and Q7, are affected by the recall, which, that's pretty cool hot hatch. Granted, I wish they made more stick shifts, you know me, but that does look like a pretty cool vehicle. Needs 3 pedals, though, obviously. Now, he says, quote, technology is great until it isn't, which, yeah, let's just say one of the worst things about modern cars is the technology, because in terms of long-term car ownership and reliability, that's the Achilles heel. Good luck trying to find a new battery for your hybrid that's 20 years old. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. You're screwed. That's why you buy a nice Honda Civic SI with a gas engine that'll last pretty much forever. I'm only partially exaggerating, but actually not too much. Now, he says, quote, a total of 44,387 Audi owners are learning that the hard way right now, as they look down and find their digital driver display no longer working. Whoops. The recall affects several models, and it could spontaneously blink out while the parked car or being moved. Obviously, losing vital information such as speed is a safety issue, hence the recall. Well, driving in Texas, not so much. Well, I'm only partially kidding for the highway driving. Now, he says, quote, at this time, the recall applies only to 2 vehicles from the 2021 model year per the documents of the NHTSA. But the following are, oh, that's a lot. The A6, S6 sedan, A6 all-road, A7, A8. There's such a bore. Cadillac does this too, but I think most famously BMW and Audi. So boring when you name vehicles after, seeming to the average American, average person, random numbers. I mean, the only Audi I know is going to be the Audi TT. Yeah, stick shift is awesome. 5 cylinders of glory. And the Audi R8. Obviously, because that has a really cool rear engine, stick shift vehicle. 10 cylinders of glory. Ugh, and some of the V8. Which, again, great for Corvette America, but, you know, German. You might argue a little Italian because of the Lamborghini parent company, but nevertheless. It also includes the S8, R7, the S8, Q7, SQ7, Q8, SQ8, RSQ8, and RS6 Avant. The problem is technically a software issue, but is connected to a potential hardware problem. In all of these vehicles, the computer monitors the power flow through a particular cable going to and from the digital display. If there's even a minor fluctuation in that power reading, the display is disabled to protect against power surges. Whoops. Apparently, said cable can become slightly damaged over time, not enough to cause any initial problems, but can increase the contact resistance enough to trigger an internal fault. When that happens, you're left with a blank driver display. Which, yeah, these days when that's all the vital information right in front of you, kind of an issue. Audi, here you can see the inside of the Audi right there, which, ugh, that interior is trash. There's something just extra disappointing about the automatic transmission and the gear selector. So it's like a soulless machine. But I know I'm part of the 2% who want to buy, who buys stick shifts these days in the US, higher in Europe. They say, quote, Audi first learned of this problem in April 2024 after several months of investigation. The issue with the cable was then found. Interestingly, Audi's supplier switched to a quote-unquote optimized cable for 2020 for the 2022 model year, hence why the recall only focuses on 2021. Huh. Pretty nice if you're that subcontractor to maybe give them a heads up, or maybe it's just a coincidence that they switched what they're making. Now they say, quote, it's definitely a problem. Audi noted 2,285 customers complaining related about the driver's display blanking out. Fortunately, the automaker isn't aware of any crashes, fires, or injuries resulted from the failure. So at least it's good they got out of the recall. They got ahead of the problem, so to say. A little silver lining of the situation, I'll give them that. They say a fix is already in place, but it's not a new cable. Instead, Audi will upload a software update that allows the system to recognize the power fluctuation in the bad cable. Essentially, this allows the system to be less sensitive to increased resistance and won't shut down the display in such instances. However, it will trigger a warning notice advising the driver to have a system checked out. Great. Jeez Louise. Now, they do note that dealer notification for the recall are already underway. Specific owner notifications will begin arriving around May 30th. Or just tune into the show where we usually cover recalls usually 30 to 60 days for the automobile community before they're sent out. You get that snail mail. And again, the brand of Audi's hurt throughout the years. I personally think they lost all prestige when they stopped making their iconic R8, or to me, iconic. But yeah, they're part of the Volkswagen group, and they're not the worst. That's Volkswagen specific brand in terms of sales and struggling, but Audi isn't the way they used to be in terms of prestige and luxury and perception, and no, certainly we'll throw reliability in there as well. And talk about one of the most annoying things in terms of a recall, where you technically gotta bring it in and fix it, but yeah, I gotta say I'd be pretty irate if I was an Audi owner. So I gotta say, Audi, you are certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.